3 years ago that I really had a close connection, very short time with Ken and his feelings about saving the island. On Alder Way, there was a major house fire, a giant house, the Laybell house. Chitakash and I went with 2 kayaks to see the extent of the fire, and Ken was with Tom Schnare, came in both about the same time we arrived, looking up this massive fire, but nobody could see that a spark had set fire not far away from here, from at the end of Alder. I took off my fleece jacket, wet it in the water, and climbed up the cliff. Chitakash climbed up. Tom loaned us a big flashlight for me to point out spots, and Tom emptied a gas can, or had an empty gas can, and Ken filled it and carried it up to Chitakash, and we fought fire for about 3.5 hours. I'm really glad that all of us were there at that time. It was October, Thanksgiving weekend 3 years ago. There was no wind, and I was praying to the wind gods to stay really quiet, because all of this and much of the north end would have been gone.
Well,
Keith.
Keith.
As some of you can see, I broke out my Friends of Galiano hat today. Somehow seems appropriate. I can't really remember when I first met young Kenneth, and he used to hate me calling him that. I think it was when I worked at the trading company and he came in for drywall. And the stipulation was he didn't care what the white surface looked like, the back of it had to be perfect. One of the nicest sounds I think I've ever heard is when Ken started to laugh, and genuinely laugh. And so over the years I've tried to get him to laugh whenever I could. Linda and Ken were the first people to visit me after my heart surgery, and it was great kind of coming to and seeing them walk in. But a number of years ago, when I had my will drawn up, don't give away the punchline. And I was making plans for everything. And I thought, what am I going to do with my big screen TV and my surround sound system? I know, I'll leave it to Ken. But every time I upgraded, I would take great joy in going down and telling Ken, it's 60 inches 3D. So when I heard the news of Ken's passing, and I was raising a glass in his memory, I started thinking, geez, I hope he didn't leave me his bandsaw. Anyway, I have to find somebody else for the big screen TV and sound system, and just wanted to give Rose a heads up all the time.
Hi. In the last little bit, I've talked to quite a lot of young people on the island, and I haven't found one single person who didn't work with or for Ken Millard in the years that he was at the Conservancy. So I'm going to read a very, very, very short note from my daughter, Orisa, who worked with him as a child, a teen, and as an adult, as a director. I am thankful for the wisdom that Ken lived and taught every day. I feel fortunate to have known him as a child, worked with him as a teen, and been inspired by him always. He taught me that you are never too young to have a voice and never too old to live your passion. And Ken had a very mischievous streak to him, as many of us know. And so I just felt I should read this little piece of poetry that I'm sure he would appreciate. And it's from The Wild in You. And the poem is by Lorna Crozier, and it's called Genesis Rainforest. And I'm going to just read just a few lines. God, as grizzly, created salmon first, 5 kinds, for the rivers, lakes, and oceans she had made. Next the sedge, tasting in its roots, a joy for the herbivores to come. And after, still famished from her work, she crafted skunk cabbage, doused it with her favorite scent, then berry after berry after berry to ripen in the sun and rain.
Tamara, are you interested in singing? Where are you? Is she gone?
She's on her way.
She's on her way. Okay. I guess one of the things that is impressive about Ken, has already been mentioned, is he gave people, he appreciated great diversity, and Tamara is a different kind of musician than we've heard about, and yet Tamara's had an important role in the life of the Conservancy, which we don't have time to go into, which Ken was very appreciative of, and Tamara spent some time on the Conservancy board. So come and give us a musical break.
Sorry about that. Try to do this quickly because I know there's a lot of people who still want to talk. I've known about Ken since I was a kid. I knew of his work saving Coon Bay. But I didn't actually get to know him as a person till I decided to do a fundraising project for the Conservancy in 2012. Try not to get choked up because it's hard to sing and cry at the same time. So anyway, he's a wonderful man, as all of you know. Really sad to see him go. And we did a little project together to raise money for the Learning Center, and we raised $10,000, which is a drop in the bucket, but still, it was great. And this was one of the songs that I played for the fundraising video, and it's a song I wrote about my dad who recently passed away. Life ain't fair, but life is good. Out of the city and into the wood, too caught up in your fast lane. Why gotta go berry picking, gotta make some pie. We'll take the ferry to Sturdy's Bay, off the dock to the cabin where we're gonna stay for a week or two with my family, making sweet music till 2:45. Well, I don't know, but I've been told you won't die if you don't grow old. You won't grow old if you laugh a lot. Mountain berries and music, that's what I got. And this is the part where you sing with me. It goes da 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 da. Baby sleeping in the tent, we better hush down. She'll wake up soon, then we can make a merry sound. Well, birds they fly and bears they climb. But they both eat berries anywhere they can find. Well, I don't know, but I've been told you won't die if you don't grow old. You won't grow old if you laugh a lot. Mountain berries and music, that's what I got. Well, I don't know, but I've been told you won't die if you don't grow old. You won't grow old if you laugh a lot. Mountain berries and music, that's what I got.